yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll take for their deceit. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. Hello, welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I am your host, astrologer Jennifer Jennings. Thanks for joining me. I know that this was short notice, but we got to talk about the transits right now. I won't take up a bunch of your time for anybody that's going to watch this later. I just wanted to come on and talk about the transits today with the TBI is going back to the day that Sebastian went missing. And the TBI does pretty good when it comes to. Am I frozen? Oh, damn. Shit. I think I'm frozen. God. I am. I'm frozen. Can anyone hear me? Can anybody hear me right now? I'm frozen. Let's see. Can y'all hear? You can hear me? Okay, cool. Well, for some reason, I can't. It's not. My computer is frozen. It's not letting me. I do want to show his map. I want to show the transits with the two offenders. They seem to focus all their energy on offenders. And into transit, in and out of transit, I just felt like I would talk about that because I think that it's very important that we look at and discuss all the theories that could certainly be a part of Sebastian's missing event. We don't know what took place. All I can tell is that there is a relationship. There was certainly someone with him. He was not by himself. I've speculated different people that would be. Oh, no. Oh, my God. It's coming back to the map. StreamYard is just not working out for me right now. What in the actual hell is going on here? Hi, Betty. Well, thanks for hanging out. Even though I'm having technical difficulties, I think I'm here. Okay, finally. God dang. Okay, finally. So I've got the clock. The clock is ticking, and Mercury has just went over the 0021 that Sebastian has. But you know what? It is this right here. It's this 955 with Mars in Scorpio in the seventh house of relationships that is over the new DA that is on Sebastian's case. And then we've got the Apollo, the physician that brings enlightenment about hidden sex, other people's money, things that are hidden with the investigation. And that 618 with Apollo was in transit when Sebastian went missing in Scorpio. And it's also in transit today. And that is the TBI. That's the TBI. It's the TBI. And when I'm looking at Sebastian's map, when I'm looking at his map, I am looking at all angles. So when I pull up the map, you're only going to see addresses that are offenders that are in the area. One of the offenders that I just knew, could have had something to do with Sebastian. He was not, I wouldn't say he was cleared, but the private investigator, Heather Cohen, she had talked to him. And I think that the law enforcement, I think that they talked to him too. He had a pig in the backyard. Me, Jeff, and Seth, and a bunch of us. That's when Crowley was still searching for Sebastian with Seth, me, and he had his drone out. So he was also, they were searching in the backyards because the house next door to one of the offenders that I'm going to show you on the map, it's a vacant home. It's a vacant home next door. So, yeah. We looked in the back of they looked in the back of the property. It was a bunch of woods, and then there's some ponds back there. So I wanted to talk about that because when I look at that offender, he's in transit too. he's being opposed. He is being opposed. His physician Apollo, that's in Libra, that is the law enforcement. Neptune is at a 0023, and it's coming into that 0022 of things of the past. Saturn is coming upon him. So I thought, this would be a really good time to go back over the offenders in the area. And the transits are supporting this with the TBI. And in about 5 hours, about 11 o'clock tonight, 11:30, the TBI will be in transit times 2. They will be in transit times 2 because this physician Apollo that is at a 618, it's also going to be interacting at a home with the TBI once this Hygeia comes to a 618. So in about 5 hours, And it's very interesting because me and the God Mom, she and I are coming into transit with Cupid, and it's about responsibility and accountability. It's about structure. It's about business. Sebastian has just been in transit with the 840 when that bus, whatever took place with that bus in Ohio today, that bus driver, there was no kids on the school bus. And I'm going to show you guys that just so you can see that when the transits come in, doesn't matter if it's the same sign. If it comes that degree, it's expressing itself. Okay. It's expressing itself. All right. So let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing right now. And I don't think that I am. Although Venus did just come over Sebastian today, over his Saturn. It made contact with his Saturn in the 10th house about his public image, things that he owns, things that he possesses. I can see that Chris is in transit as well. Mr. Proudfoot. Not sure if he is tuning in, but if he is, if he's in the bushes, hey. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this now. Let me pull up the TBI. Let me pull up the TBI now. And then I'll share as I'm going to dual it out. Okay. I'm going to dual it out so we can see exactly the transits right now. Dualed out with the sun is shining on Israel right now. God, there's so much going on in the world, but that is for another time. So much going on in the world. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's very crazy. It's a crazy time period. And you know what? Speaking of the time period, it's a full moon. Full moon. In Aries. So I'm pulling up the TBI. Hold on just a second. Okay. Now I'm going to dual it out with the transits, and I'm going to show this to you guys. Just 1 second. As I'll share it. Share a new window. All right. Let's do this. Now, so you see the TBI. The TBI is on the left. And the transits with this, let's see where the moon is. The moon is at an 11 degrees, so it's not full yet. It will be, and it's going to come. That moon is going to come and oppose the wisdom with Erica Kirk. This full moon is big, like a big super hunter moon. And it's coming to oppose her. The full moon in Aries is opposing her. The sun is shining on Netanyahu and some of the others. But anyway, I digress. I'm not going to be talking about that. I've got to stop. But this is where the TBI, this Cupid, their desires for their everyday, their work, this is in transit right now. And it's a collective transit. And so when this comes into transit, I see that 618. I'm like, oh, yep. They're investigating. They're looking into, they're doing their due diligence with investigations. And it could be about hidden sex, other people's money, things that are hidden with that Scorpio energy. It's very intense. Their desires are intense. and they are getting enlightenment because the physician, Apollo, brings enlightenment. That's what the physician does. It brings enlightenment to things that you are looking into. And so right now, for the next 24 hours, the TBI is working diligently with offenders. And it could be that there is other things going on, but hey, Deanna. Hey, Betty. Thanks, guys. Hey, Jeff. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay, so what I'm seeing with this connection is Venus at a 21 in Virgo. She has just come over Saturn. And where she is coming, I want to show you. I want to show you because Venus is also going to give the TBI limits and obstacles when it comes to kids with their work. Venus at a 21 is coming to their 2235. Not today, maybe tomorrow. We can check it out, but Venus is definitely coming to hang out. Venus is in their fifth house of kids. Venus is opposing my Venus. Okay. Venus is opposing my Venus. I don't think that this is what took place, but I am open to the challenge for Venus and Virgo to teach me about my Venus in Pisces. Okay. I've been looking at Poke Lake again. I've been looking at certain people that are around Poke Lake, their affiliations, and some of these affiliations are taking me on down through the rabbit hole. But it doesn't have anything to do with the offender situation. So I do want to give a little bit of clarity to what I'm seeing on the map with that. So as you can tell right now, Mercury is at a 0023. Right now, Mercury is at a 0023 and Neptune is at a 0023. So Neptune has been at a 0024. That's the third house of communications with Sebastian. And it would be networking. And now we are going into the 0021, but not yet. We got a couple of days. But now Mercury is going to be coming to the 0024 that Sebastian has in the third house of communications. And again, we're looking at communications that could have been hidden online. So again, that's the only reason why I am expressing this energy, because I feel like it's worthy, it's worthy to express. It's in transit, so let's do it. Let's talk about it. So that Venus, okay, this Venus at a 21, she's coming to the Saturn. We have a lot of Virgo energy when it comes to the offender that I'm going to show you. There's a lot of Virgo energy that is surrounding his property. Sure is. Lots of Virgo energy. So let's get right to that. Let me remove that. Let me go ahead and bring up the map. And if it starts to act crazy, y'all, it's because I've got a lot of data on the map. And so if I lose you, I'll try to come back. But if not, I tried. That's all I can say. I tried. All right. So I'm going to slowly but surely pull this map up. Just give me 1 second. Hold on. Because I don't want to. I don't want to cooperate here. I think y'all are going to be able to see it. Hold on. Okay. Finally. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay. I think everybody can see that. And let me see if you're going to be able to See, when I move this is the map that's actually coming from his home. And so I think that you will be able to see this. This is the district attorney's lines, and I'm only having the district attorney's lines up. I'm only going to have him up for right now because I want to show you if this map, will work with me. These are the offenders that I've got on the map. I don't believe that it would be any kind of doxing because it is public record, and I think the public has a right to know where these offenders are on Sebastian's map. However, I'm going to try to be as careful as I can. So this is the offender that is only a little over a mile south from Sebastian's home. And I want to show you that this house is where the DA, this is the new DA, okay? This is the new dude. DA Dean. Hey, Catherine. Hey, honey. This is his dark moon. He has a disordered aggression. And this is telling me a lot, because when Sebastian went missing, so the DA has a dark moon with the physician Apollo that brings enlightenment. Here's the abandoned house that's next to this offender who has a pig, a pet pig. All right, so this is the dark moon of the DA. And look at this. This angle was in transit in the 9th house. It's a higher learning when Sebastian went missing. It represents a relationship who gives Sebastian a conscious raising experience with travel. So we've got the missing dark moon. We've got the DA's dark moon. Now, we pull up Eric Craddock. Look at that. Eric Craddock has his dark moon here. He has his dark moon. So we've got the missing dark moon. We've got Eric Craddock's dark moon. And we've got the DA. What is the dark moon? Does anybody know what the dark moon is? Yes, that is the property, Jeff. Exactly. 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 Hey, Jilly B. Hey, hon. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. The dark moon is about things of the past. It's about things of the past with disordered aggression that affects health. So this was my number 2 hotspot when he went missing. And my number 2 hotspot. Heather Cohen went to this house, talked to him, and she felt like he checked out. She checked him out. He checked out. So that's what that was. And we didn't discuss him anymore. However, we did go and search the property next to it. We searched this property, and Jeff and Crabtree, I think Crabtree had his drone that day. Did he have his drone that day, Jeff? Huh?
He did.
Okay, he did. Okay.
That's how we spotted the pond.
Okay, that's right. That's how they spotted the pond, because Crabtree did have the drone. So they did the drone. They spotted some ponds back here. There's a pond right here, actually. There's a pond right here. You can't really see it, but it's there. There's actually a few ponds, I think, back through here. But they did walk it. They droned it. So we got a pond right here. And you can see that the DA is also, this conjunction is from here to here. So it's going from this guy's house all the way to the back. And this is where the flame of life and the magnetism is located on this angle for Eric Craddock. So I'm just going to focus right here, just right through here, because this is the number one offender that's the closest. And we've got a lot of darkness. We got a lot of disordered aggression here when it comes to health. And that, again, is, we can't make this up. I can't make it up. That's where the dark moon was. So we got Eric's dark moon. We got DA's dark moon. We got the missing dark moon. And this conjunction is also being met with the flame of life. So the missing Vesta that goes to Virginia, the missing Vesta, it not only goes to Virginia, it goes over Worsham's Market, goes over the market, and then it goes all the way to the east into Virginia. Okay? Just letting you know that. And that's what the challenge is. That is what the challenges are. If we just focus on this offender right here. Hey, Elaine. Hey, honey. Good to see you. Good to see ya. All right. So we got the missing dark moon. We got these other dark moons. Okay. Now we've got the natal. Let's look at the natal, because here's the natal also. And this is where Venus has just went over Sebastian's Saturn. His Saturn is a 2113 in Virgo, and Venus today has went over that. Like hanging out, talking, in conversation. Venus conjunct Saturn. Or, I'm sorry, the transiting Venus conjunct the natal Saturn. Okay. So long travel, quick movement of water, river possible with Saturn challenges his mental exploration, can represent an older male, business. And because it's Saturn, it could definitely represent woods. Sag is also about the radio waves, and it's what people talk about. It's definitely a chatter line. Lines here go all the way to Hawaii, Costa Rica, could signify another country, a religion. Okay, so there's the natal. It's the Saturn. So we've got Saturn right here, slows him down. He's being slowed down here, especially with Venus today as well. So we take that off. And if we just look at, let's see, who else do I want to put in here? Let's look at the other law enforcement. Because we got the DA, we've got Eric Craddock, we got all this darkness. So we've got Eric Craddock's darkness, we got the DA's darkness, we got the missing darkness. Now what else do we have? We have the state of Tennessee, and they shine here. They shine in the ninth house with a lot of energy. With a lot of energy. And a series could be about a church, and series can also be about agriculture, a lot of land. And we do see a lot of land here. The TBI is here, but guess what? Their Saturn is here. They have a lot of magnetism. Okay, lots of magnetism. A lot of magnetism is where you are drawn. You are being drawn to something. So they have a lot of magnetism here, but they have limits and obstacles. Just like Sebastian has limits and obstacles going this direction. And of course, this is going all the way down into Alabama. It's going into Alabama. It's going south. Going south. We're going like border of Alabama and Georgia here. Hey, little Miss Sharon. Hey, honey. Good to see y'all. I know it's not a lot of notice. Hey, Moon Dust. Good to see ya. and not a lot of notice because I've just not been feeling all that great today. And I've been working, I've just been doing my thing, looking at some of these maps, looking at Jack and Lily's map, trying to figure out, where they are, what happened. I got a little upset earlier looking at their map because for one, the first time I think I see where if they're not alive, where they could possibly be found, but I'm not going to be talking about that just yet until I get my my mind wrapped around it all. So right up through here, I'm thinking that this is more or less like a logging. I'll have to ask Jeff when he comes back in, but I'm thinking that this is some type of logging. Seemed like that there was a lot of carcasses of logs, but I can't remember. I'll have to ask Jeff. So we have the Saturn for the TBI, and then what else do we have? Well, the dark moon. The disordered aggression with the dark moon and the TBI. So y'all, I want you to understand all kinds of disordered aggression, all kinds of darkness is seen here going south. Of course, this is going to go into the water. If we keep traveling south, we're going to go into the water. We're going to go into, we're going to see, we could see where, this would definitely express itself because it is going south near the water where there was a lot of searches and a lot of disordered aggression with people. But this is the law enforcement, and this is the problem that I'm having, that I did have when I first began his map, is if he did leave and nobody saw him by chance, that's actually really possible. And it could be. I mean, it definitely could be because, the law enforcement does tend to overlook a lot. So we've got the TBI. We got the FBI here. This is where the FBI is faded with the state of Tennessee. Their Poseidon in Virgo is a 1909. Well, that 1909 is very prevalent with our agencies and with the state of Tennessee and the TBI. Poseidon in Virgo, same as Tennessee. It shakes things up here with the investigation, and it opposes Heather. It connects to Tony and me in Colorado and Heather, but it is opposing Heather here. It's not opposing me and Tony. Me, Tony, and Heather have the same degree. It's a 353. My 353 wants to go to a homeless camp. I want to go northwest of Sebastian's home, and I want to go to a homeless camp. For Heather, this is where her magnetism is. So her magnetism is opposed here. But again, this is, I don't want to get you guys confused, but Heather Cohen, the old investigator, she's opposed here. And she's the one that said that she talked to him first and that he was clear. He was good. He was Gucci. Okay. So you heard that here. That's what she said. So now we've got the family. Let's turn the law enforcement off and let's just look at some of the family members and how they're expressing their energy here. Make sure I got everybody. And then I'm going to show you the parents. So right now, I just want to show you, this is Terry Bowersox. This is his Mercury that is conjunct Venus in Virgo. This is about the media and his values and the things that he values in life with health. All things having to do with health. Melissa, this is where her Mercury in Gemini is squaring Zeus. This is where her magnetism and the communications with her brother get messed up from the flow up. That's what that means. The Mercury in Gemini, again, is going over Worshams and it's going to Virginia. But the square is here. This is where she is magnetized to. but her Mercury is squaring up. And the Mercury in Gemini, her chart is ruled by Mercury in Gemini. Mercury in Gemini, Mercury is Gemini. Like, it's the chart ruler. So the chart ruler for Melissa, and we know who Melissa is, right? You know who Melissa is. She is having a square. There's a 90-degree angle. And this 90-degree angle that is squaring up with the ruler of her chart is coming here. Jeff, are you back in here? I guess not. I guess not. Okay, so here's the God Mom. This is where her Saturn and her dark moon is. So she has a dark moon here. The God Mom has a dark moon. It's going this way. All these people having dark moons here. Disordered aggression. Limits and obstacles. There is Frances. This is her South Node. She's been here before. She's been here before. Offending. Possibly. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, trying to work it out the best I can. Terry Bowersox, his Jupiter is conjunct Apollo in Virgo. And let me just tell you, Terry's Apollo that brings enlightenment, this physician that brings enlightenment about Sebastian's health, it's connected to Sebastian. It's the same degree. It's the same degree that Sebastian has in Capricorn in the second house. It's about values and money, long travels, pleasure, faith, her 12th house, moon. The 12th house is about prisons and hospitals, things of the past. And this moon that she has that is going this way is in a major challenge. It's a square. That's a 90-degree angle with her Mars in Gemini. And again, the Mars would suggest a vehicle, a body, two people, and is going over Worshams into Virginia. This is just one offender. This is just one. But you see my the way that we can investigate with it. We're just looking at the behaviors. So that's the family. Let's turn on the parents. We got all parents are here. All the parents are here. Seth is here. This is where he has his third house. Zeus, this is where he is magnetized to. And let me just tell you, Seth wasn't feeling good when we were here. He wasn't feeling good. He was having all kinds of pain. This is the house that we were at. It's opposing his midheaven in Pisces. His midheaven is going the opposite way, north. But this is where he is magnetized to. It's right here. This property. That's where we were. And then this is where Mars and Saturn are. This is where the drone, where Stephen, let me see if he's here. Where's the searchers? Yeah, there he is. Look at that. So Stephen's Mars, Crabtree's Mars is here. The Mars is the vehicle. What's the vehicle? It's the drone. It's the drone. Okay, it was a logging road. Yes. And tree root carcasses piled 30 feet tall off a cliff. And so that's exactly what that was. So we'll look at that here in a minute. If you can remember, Jeff, I don't know if you can remember, but I want to say it's this. It was right beside that house. Seems like it was this house, and then there's a road, and the road goes up, and it goes back, and then this is the pond. And this is where Seth has his lowest point at home. His lowest point is right there in that pond. Do you remember if the pond was deep? Do you remember if y'all even looked at the pond or anything, Jeff? Let me know. Let me know. Because that's the lowest point, is where that pond is in the back. And again, this is a logging road. So we've got Stephen Crabtree. We've got his son. He is shining here with his drone. He's looking at all of I'm sure he took pictures too. So Stephen was there that day. Seth was here. And there's the Mars. Limits and obstacles with Mars. Limits and obstacles with the drone, possibly. Let's go down deeper. It looks like vehicles are right here. Okay, that's Chris. I mean, Chris is overlapping Seth, I think. Hold on, let me see who Chris is overlapping here. Oh, he's overlapping. Oh, wow, okay. So Chris is actually overlapping Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dwayne Chapman. This is where he receives enlightenment. Okay, so Dog receives enlightenment about the health. Chris's dark moon that's in Aquarius that is going to that landfill that they searched in Kentucky, it is fated with his magnetism. And his magnetism at a 2144 is the same degree as the FBI. FBI wound is Christopher's magnetism, meaning they magnetize to his wound on this angle. Southern line goes to the Cumberland River on down into Alabama and up into Kentucky.
I hear you, babe. I'm sitting up front.
Oh, okay.
And yes, that was.
This is the logging. Where's the logging? Did y'all happen to check out the, I'm pretty sure that this is the pond.
Yeah, and the logging is right there. It's like a 30-foot tall cliff.
Oh, there's a cliff right through here?
Tree carcasses.
Okay.
Like right here.
Because this is where the pond is right here. Okay.
We walked past the tree carcasses before we got to the pond.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so now we do have a logging. There's a bunch of carcass logs out there. Okay, so tree root carcasses. Okay. Do you know if y'all do you remember if y'all tried to figure out how deep that pond would be?
It's shallow.
It's just a runoff.
Yep.
Runoff.
Yep.
Okay. So very shallow pond. So like a retention pond, like we got in back. Okay. So this is Seth's lowest point at home. This is the lowest point. Chris's Mercury in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo. So Mercury in Virgo is his chart ruler. Okay, so we just discussed that Melissa, his sister, her chart ruler is Mercury in Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. It rules the 3rd and the 6th. And so her Mercury and Chris's Mercury are actually squared to one another in their chart. Let me try to explain that. Mercury is in the 3rd house, ruler of Gemini. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo in the 6th house. And every 3rd house, we are going to have a square. It's going to come to a 90-degree angle. This means that Chris and Melissa, their conversations are very challenging. Very challenging because they both are ruled by Mercury. They're chatterboxes. Okay? And sometimes they may say too much. So if we think that Chris or Melissa had something to do with it, then we would definitely want to look at this angle. We definitely want to look at this angle. So the Sagittarius is square. Chris's Mercury in Virgo is squaring Neptune and Sag. The Neptune in Sag is, guess where it's going? You guessed it. It's going toward his work. It's going toward his work. That's right. And it's a square because the 6th house, you go 3 more houses, 7, 8, 9. The 9th house is Sagittarius, and that is going to be a square. It's a 90-degree angle. Every 3rd house is a 90-degree angle of a square. It's a challenge. We got Michael. Silver's on the scene. His Pluto is in Virgo. So his Pluto, the intensity would be coming down here for him. It's going all the way down into the water. And so he would be having a lot of intensity with that. And then Katie's Mercury conjunct Zeus in Virgo. So guess what? Katie and Chris Proudfoot, their chart ruler is also Mercury, but it's in Virgo. Again, Katie's Mercury, Chris's Mercury is going to challenge Melissa. And this is also, Mercury is also about siblings, about childhood, close by. It's close. Her magnetism in Virgo matches me, where I receive information, and it matches the FBI ascendant degree as well. This is the reason why I wanted to make sure that this dude, that this area was cleared. Cleared. And I think that I'm showing you why. Because this is not even a mile away from his home. Not even a mile. Look at all of this terrain here. Cliffs. I mean, you're talking about, there's a lot. Lots of terrain here. And like I said, this is where, let me see if I've got, this is where magnetism is opposing the Venus. So my Venus is opposed here. What I think in the very beginning, my Venus is opposing it. And my Venus is about to be opposed once again. It's about to be opposed once again right here. And the reason why is because my magnetism is at 1245. The state of Utah rises at a 1245. They descend at a 1245. So if we wanted to get technical, my magnetism is actually connected to Utah. And that's where my Jupiter would be going to say, hey, he could be here. He could be homeless, but he may not be. And if he wouldn't be, if something crazy happened and there was some kind of online stuff, or, this dude was on the hunt, like, it's a hunter's moon tonight and he's in transit on the hunter's moon tonight, this full moon in Aries, just makes you wonder, makes you wonder. But never. All right, so let's see who else we got here. Steve Fisher. Steve Fisher's Mars in Gemini is going toward Worshams, is going toward Virginia, and it's square his Zeus. So he is magnetized here. His magnetism is also here. But there is a definite square. It's about communications going this way. So we want to look at this square because we get a lot of squares with the Gemini. You see it goes over the new construction. It's going over Worshams. It's going this way, going over Upper Station Creek. Okay. So let's turn him back off. I only got one of hers. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Who else do I have? Okay. Mr. Mathis. Tony Mathis, let's see what he's got going on right here on this offender. It's right here. Shoot, come on. Let it catch up. I'm going too fast for it. This is where he has a conscious raising experience with a relationship, and he's magnetized here. This conscious raising experience is with a relationship. So that relationship could definitely be, with Heather, with Seth, but there is a relationship here. Let's go in a little closer. And that looks like a pond. Hey, Jeff. Because this kind of looks like a pond right here where Tony is, that kind of looks like a pond right there. And that looks like a pond. Let me turn that off. Hold on. Let me turn Tony off. Hold on. Where am I at?
Okay.
That kind of looks like one. But see how, would it have been right there? Right over those woods? Or did y'all
It was back further.
Yeah, like right
Yeah.
there. Okay. So
'Cause
there's
we
no
walked
pond
past the
here.
tree carcasses first.
Okay. And where was the other pond? Didn't you say that there was two? Or no?
No, there was one.
Just one. Okay, so it's right there. It's right there. Right there. That's Seth right there. Seth's lowest point is going over that pond. But like you said, it's very shallow. All right, so then let's look at this other offender here.
Put them up.
Okay, just so you can see. We've got these two that are really close. We got one on Latimer, Long Hollow. But I want to show you these two. Because that Gemini energy is going this way. Pretty sure. Okay, this is a Cancerian energy. Okay, so this is Cancer. All of this is Cancer, so it's about the home. It's about a home. Cancer would be about a home. So on this Stirlingshire, we have a missing Kronos. It's the same degree as the TBI. So his missing Kronos that was in transit, when he went missing, there was a devouring energy, the Hades. So there was a weight over a home. There was weight. This is also going over, of course, the neighbor's backyard. Into the new construction area. But it also goes here. So I want to zoom in a little bit. Because the missing and the FBI are just riding each other. They're the same line. There's the TBI, the outer will. Third house outer will in Cancer. So it's about communications at home. Communications and home. Networking with mom and dad, what's hidden at a home or a home, possibly religion, church. And this does go over Long Hollow Baptist Church. So we've got the missing here that's writing. Kronos is about timing. Hey, kitty catty. Hey, honey. Good to see ya. This is about timing. It's about timing with a weight. A weight. Like you're just walking around with this huge weight. There's that conjunction. It's right there in the backyard. So I'm going to turn the missing off, turn Craddock on, turn the family on. Sarah, her fifth house of kids, things that she learns that conjuncts Mars about a home and health. It's going this way. So that's Seth's sister. And you can see that we don't have, well, yeah, we do. There's Crabtree. This is his 11th house. Jupiter. That is conjunct Chiron. It's about the pain that he shares with people, with his friend group, about things of the past. With a home. Dwayne Chapman, dog, the bounty hunter, his Jupiter in Taurus is fated with Uranus in Cancer, so he gets a little shaky shake, a little shake up right here. Uranus is about online networking. And Jupiter is, of course, about pleasure, money, woods. It's earthy, things of ownership, things that we own. So that's what he's got going on right there. But you can see that there's not a whole lot like it was on the other one. We do have some parents here. We got Katie. This is also where Katie has pain that she shares. I don't know where she shares it because I don't have her birth chart. But her Chiron is here. This is where she is sharing pain. And again, this is going over the backyard of Katie's home. It's going over the new construction. And it's coming here. Just to give you a perspective, you know, Chris gets a little wakey, a little shake up, lots of emotions about a home, but it's going over this home, not this home. We don't have anything natal here. There's Kathy. Kathy's Venus conjunct Mars is a pertinent angle. This can suggest things of ownership, things that she owns. It can suggest a car, a vehicle, warring, an accident. Mars and Venus conjunct can definitely be an accident. And her Mars and Venus in Cancer actually match the FBI. So it's kind of cool when we look at these connections that we have. Yep. So we've got her. We got her. Where's she at? No natal lines are here. Let's see if Seth is up here. Seth rises here. So Seth rises in Cancer. And this is, of course, going all the way to Sins in Capricorn. This is going to go over the, this is going to go into Gallatin. He's going to rise and shine. This is Gemini. So he shines in Gemini. Seth shines in Gemini. But the way that he shines with communications squares Chris and Katie. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that we looked at this one more time. One more time, because I have not taken that hotspot off. Not yet. Not yet. Because it's just too eerie. And of course, we're going all the way down. And we can see that we've got another offender here. There's another offender here. There's the dark moon. Let's go ahead and bring in the DA again. And there's the DA. So we've got the dark moon. It was same thing. Same thing. So we got another offender, 105 Southern Trace. And I do have all of these offenders' birthdays. So I can look at them. And I can guarantee you, I don't even have to show you. I can guarantee you that they're both in transit right now. They're both in transit because I'm talking about them. And this is some serious stuff. And not only that, the TBI is retracing. They're looking at offenders today and tomorrow. They could be on some type of has nothing to do with Sebastian, right? Doesn't mean it has anything to do with Sebastian. It just means that they are in transit with a collective transit, and it's about hidden sex and other people's money, things that are hidden. Pawns, sex, trash. That's what Scorpio is. That's what it is. So I just wanted to show you guys that, there is a lot of work that I do. That even though I'm not on live and, there's a lot of work into this. And we can actually look. Like today, I want to show you this. And this doesn't have anything to do with the offenders, but watch this. Watch this, because I've been looking at Mr. Proudfoot. Nobody wants to ever really talk about him. And I'm like, okay. Well, I want to. I want to look at everybody. Look at everybody. So let's turn on the DA. Let's jump back here for a minute, because I want to show y'all something that I noticed today. As a matter of fact, that's where that bus, there was a bus crash in Ohio. Didn't involve any kids, but Ohio was in transit today. It was in transit today with the TBI, and it was in transit today with Ohio, that is. Ohio, the TBI, Sebastian. And I was like, I wonder why. It has to do with kids. It has to do with kids and values. Well, there was a bus crash. Didn't have any kids on it, but it did. It's the bus driver was taking it for a spin. I think that it had just gotten out of the shop or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But there was something that took place with that bus, and there's people that are injured, like 3 people that are injured, not kids, but adults. And that's where it's at. That's where it took place. And I just wanted to put it on the map just because at the time of the crash, Sebastian was in transit, and it was about other people's money, things that are hidden in the 12th house. And I thought, are we in Ohio or are we in Tennessee? It looks like the TBI is working the offenders right now. They do that often. So I wanted to, just look at all of it. But check this out. I thought that this would be interesting. I don't have many. I've only got 2, 3, 4, 5. I've only got 5. I've only got 5 for Michael Proudfoot. But I bet you anything his magnetism is going to go by that offender's house. But anyway. I've only got 5 angles for him, but I thought that this was interesting because Michael's Venus, hold on, let me take him off for a second. You can't really see it, but they're overlapping. Watch this. If we just go in on this line, I just want you to see it. Look. This is the DA. This is the Neptune and Scorpio, but it's in a good standing with Eris and Aries. It's about a head wound. It's about a lot of warring with the head going this way. Neptune and Scorpio is about containment, things that are hidden. Got to dissolve that Neptune in order to understand what happened with investigations. That's the Neptune. But this line is Aries, okay? This is where the full moon is taking place, is in Aries, right? But check this out. Michael and him are overlapping. Overlapping. Michael's Venus is in Aries, so his Venus, his values. Aries is also, Aries is ruled by Mars, and he's a truck driver. So his values, his money is with Mars. It's with Aries. It's with the vehicle. Okay. Could also be a vehicle. Lots of initiating energy with his Venus. So his Venus is here. This is where his Venus is. And his Venus and the DA's Eris is right together. The DA has a lot of warring. Everybody has a bunch of warring with Michael's values. And let me show you why I say that. I'm going to turn everybody on. I want to turn everybody on, and I want you to, that's me. That's where I share pain with groups. But this is a trip. I'm going to turn everybody on right here. Boom, 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 boom. And Silver's on the scene. This is where he has his Chiron in the third house of communications. Yeah. Yeah. So Silver's on the scene. His Chiron, where he shares pain, is here. Where Michael has values. Everybody is going to have pain or, sure, a bunch of warring, but not Michael. Mr. Proudfoot, no way. Eric Craddock. Now let's just talk about him for a second. Mars. It's Mars and Aries. Interesting. I really find this interesting. So much so that I just can't believe it. Stevens Eris goes here. There's a Stevens, Crabtree's warring up here with investigations going this way. Tony is warring going this way with a lot of pain that he is sharing. But Eric Craddock, he's definitely warring here, but it's with Mars, his chart ruler. We got Eris here. So Eris is the goddess of war and strife. There's all kinds of warring up here. But not with Michael Proudfoot. Not with Michael Proudfoot. So let me take everybody off again, because we're about to look at this angle with them. I'm going to leave Craddock on. I'm going to take the parents off. Let's just look at Craddock. Let me take these addresses off because there's a gazillion addresses. You go ahead and take the offenders off. Yeah. Okay. So what was that one? That's one that I was looking at today. That's where the bus crashed. That's where the bus crashed. Eric learned something. Eric's learning something here. And it's a good standing with his Kronos and Gemini. It's going into Virginia. Goes into Virginia. All right, but this is what I want to look at. I want to look at Michael. Michael's Venus with Craddock, with the DA. And I want to see what his Venus is fated with Neptune and Scorpio. What would he be hiding? What would he be hiding here? So let's go this way. We're going to go. Hold on, let me let it catch up with me. So we're going to go through Nashville. And it's actually, let's go ahead and look at that. Looks like I got something right there. What is that? Here. Okay. 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 That's what it is. Okay, so this address, this circle, is Michael Profit's home. It's his home. So Eric Craddock, hold on, there's Michael, where's the DA? Where'd it go? Oh, that's right, they're writing. Oh my God, it's the same angle. You got to be kidding me. What is going on here? So Neptune and Scorpio is Michael Proudfoot. DA's Neptune and Scorpio. Interesting. They're just sharing the whole angle, that entire angle. Wow. So this is Michael Proudfoot's home. Let me turn on these other addresses and see what's right here. That's his home. Oh God, I don't want to click on that, but I do. I think that's where we had the vigil. No, that's the cemetery. I think this is a church. No, that's Hunter's Lane School. Okay. So I think Eric Craddock and Chris Proudfoot went to school together at Hunter's Lane. I think. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I think they did. Hey, Smack Talker. Hey, honey. Good to see you. Hey, Shauna. What's up, y'all? Little Miss Sharon. What's up? Y'all, this is tripping me out because they are sharing this angle. Michael Proudfoot is sharing this angle with the DA. This is wild. Eric's Pluto and Scorpio. Really? Interesting. Let me look at this one. Hold up. I know this area very well, just so you know. I know this area very well. And sometimes I'll be getting the heebie-jeebies. Huh. Interesting. Are you watching this, Jeff? Ain't that a trip? You see where I'm at, right? There's East Campbell. So Michael Proudfoot lives off of East Campbell. There's Hamblin. There's Woods Lake. Interesting. His Pluto and Scorpio is going right over it. Right over Hamblin. Woods Lake, East Campbell. Okay. Interesting. This is not, hold on. This should be it. Hold on, this should be it. This. I was thinking that this is where Proudfoot lived because it's on East Campbell. That other one is Campbell. Where I've got that circle. Hold on. I want to make sure because this isn't East Campbell. No, that's not his house. Interesting. So that's going down that way. Okay, so we're going to take this off because that's not it. I'm glad I noticed that. Why isn't it? Okay, so that's not even a hot spot. Okay. I just circled it because I was thinking that that's where I wanted to. But that's not it. It's right here. It's right there, y'all. This is Michael's Venus in Aries that's going up into Ohio that is fated with his Neptune. His Neptune is going this way. That Neptune in Scorpio and the DA's Neptune in Scorpio. Huh. Yeah, I can't make this up, y'all. I can't make it up. I'm tripping. Tripping. It's all, yeah, Angel for you. Wow, it's all I can say too. Like, what? Good to see you, babe. I'm tripping on this. Okay, so this is actually where he lives. Right on this. Let's see. Let's see. Let me go up. Look at that. Let's look at this for a second. The birth, that's the birth line. This is where Sebastian learns of what is hidden that may harm his health. Like, that's not it. That's still not it. Let me go down. So I can see the address, man. Like, I'm just over here, just, I cannot believe myself. All this time. And I'm just oblivious. Just being just stuck on stupid over here. Where is it? I don't even see where it would be. Because it's showing right there, but sometimes they move. They'll move. There's the church. And I want to, I'm looking at and go, I'm going to have to look at it with my phone real quick. Yes, Angel for you, you've been here. You know what I'm saying? You know where I'm at, right? Angel for you, you have been here, babe. You have been here with me. If you remember. You have definitely been here. Like right around in this area. You've been here with me before. Okay, so I'm going to have to look at the yeah. Yeah, you do remember. Okay. I've got to look and see. I want to see the actual house. On my phone. Without showing you guys the actual address. Okay, so yeah. Let me go back. So let me, okay, so we're actually, okay. So we should be, I'm looking at the house. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Come on, Google. It's there. It's right next to. Oh, that's crazy because my phone is showing it. I'm right near. Is that it? Oh my gosh, I'm so goofy. There it is. There it is. Okay, so this is East Campbell. Yeah, okay. So that's not it. Let's take that off. Delete. Jesus. This is it. This is it, y'all. And look at that. Natal lines right there. Just wrap my head around this. Okay, so yeah, Angel for you. So this is right where you were. Here's North Graycroft. This is Madison area. So there's Woods Lake. There's Hamblin. There's the missing. Okay, so let's just look at this area right here, because I'm tripping that the DA and Michael are sharing a Neptune line. It's just maybe they were born Aries and then the Neptune in Scorpio. So we've got an Aries, and of course, that's where the moon is full, is going up there into Ohio. But the DA is sharing that line. And that's on the other side of the interstate. But this is where, let me see, no. Train museum. Okay, there's a train museum here. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Wisdom with the past brings Tennessee a discord in community with groups and networking. Tennessee, Sebastian Match here. With video, hidden sex, other people's money, trash, pond, water, what's hidden. Other people's money. All these lines right here. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, y'all. There's a lot of 940. Okay. Siri was at a 840. I'm sorry. Ceres and Aries was at an 840 today. That's where it was. It was an 840. And Sebastian's Poseidon that's in Scorpio is an 840. So that's why angles are really good to look at, because I'm looking at this angle. Of course, the bus crash had nothing to do with Sebastian. But the fact that his Poseidon, that's going right over Michael's house. There was a lot of energy with it. There was a lot of energy with it. It's an Aries, so it's about a vehicle, the Mars, the crash. Hey, D Green Honey, hey. I just found out that they were sharing this line today. So you can bet your butt, girl, that I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be on it. On it. Eric's Pluto and Scorpio is going right over there. I don't like that. I don't like that a bit. Let me look at these other people's. Let's look at these other people's right here. Here's the missing event. Missing Apollo. Apollo brings enlightenment to the state of Tennessee when it comes to family dynamics with Sebastian. Earthy. resources, possessions. So the missing Apollo that was in transit when Sebastian went missing, that was bringing a lot of enlightenment to the TBI, is opposing the Jupiter in Taurus in the fifth house of kids. So the Jupiter in Taurus in the fifth house of kids is this angle. So I'll have to look at that angle, you know? I'll want to look at that angle, and I'll want to see if the DA is showing up there too. All right, now let's take a look at some of these other family members. So we know that Proudfoot and the DA is sharing this line. So we know that. All right. But I just want to focus on this one right here. This area right through here. So we got Michael Proudfoot. We got his Venus, his Neptune over here. We got to dissolve. The DA's got to dissolve it too. All right. There's the parents. So we have divine justice with what's hidden sex, other people's money, containment, pond, dirty water, sewage. I'm looking kind of right now, I'm basically looking at other people's money. I'm looking at any type of connection with money because we've got a lot of Scorpio energy right here. And it's right here. So I'm looking at money. Okay. There's a divine justice that Chris has at a 22-degree in Scorpio, and it's conjunct his desires. So his desires are over here, but the divine justice is right here, right there by his dad's. Then we got Katie. Katie is over here with the Pluto in Scorpio. So her Pluto in Scorpio, this means that not only is Mercury ruling her chart, so is Pluto. So I want to make a note of that because that's very important when we're looking at this type of investigation. Is we want to see the chart rulers and what they are doing, how they are communicating with each other, where they're going. Okay, so we know that her Mercury is in Virgo. It's in the 6th house. So there is a good standing. It's only 2 houses away. It's 60 degrees away. That Pluto is going here. Her Mercury in Virgo is going to that dude's house that we were just looking at. Now, her Pluto, that's also her chart ruler, is going right here over Sylvania. Nella Drive, Sylvania. You know, it's close to her father-in-law's house. Then we look over here. There's that conjunction with Chris right on that. Okay. East Campbell, Grayland, Nesbitt, going down Ronnie, going down North Graycroft. Westchester. I'm not going to pull that up. I don't want to see that. There's Pluto. There's Nesbitt. Let's get down the ground level for a second because her Pluto is going right here, and there's a pond here, and I'm a little suspicious. A little park. Interesting. And don't you know, I've been here. I've been here. I've been here many, many times. Many times. This is the park. Oh my gosh. Ain't that something? So here's Old Hickory Boulevard. If you go down the main road on Old Hickory Boulevard, there's a park. So if you're going this way, you would be going, if you're coming from like Dickerson Road, there's Dickerson Road. For anybody road, and you get to the park area where Katie has her Pluto here. That is also, again, a chart ruler. And we see a lot of evidence with the pond, all this terrain. Oh my God. 6th house, this is where the 12th house would be, the 12th house outer wheel. This is where Sebastian receives information that could harm him. Eric's Pluto in Scorpio. I've been here as well. It's a water tower there. This is right off. This is a neighborhood. Okay, this is a neighborhood that goes in the back. It's fairly, I mean, it's when I used to live over there. And then Eric's got that address. I'm not going to show that, but let's go back over here. So we're going up Dickerson Road, Old Hickory Boulevard, and then there's Apple Valley. Let's see. So the way that we would get here, hold on. Let me show you the way that we would get here. You take Old Hickory Boulevard. Where's North Graycroft? Right here. So the way that you would get there from state, and then here's Cornerstone Church. Go ahead and see it. We need to look at that church. Because there's definitely a pastor. This is a big mega church. Also, I mean, and I've done this too. Here is the you can see it up here. Like you can keep on going. This is a back road. And I have been up here a time or two. Is also missing, and one of the guys that is a suspect lives in the same exact location off of North Graycroft. So you would take a left, the big church, and you'd go down North Graycroft right here. You keep on going down North Graycroft until you get to East Campbell. Then you take a right. This area where Tabitha Tudors, one of the suspects, used to live here. Of course, he's incarcerated now, but I'm just saying, you know, there's reasons why. Let's see if there's anything else over here. I don't know. Let's take the parents off. Let me see if I've got Seth on. Yeah, I do. Seth should be here, though. I would think he would be here. Let me see if I've got him on. I do. All of his stuff is on. Let's see where he's at, where he shows up here. Because he gets a little shake up. It's right here. No, this is... He must be overlapping somebody. Or is it this far up? Okay, here it is. This is where he gets a shakeup with his kid. Would be right here off of Hunter's Lane. Next to Chris. The health that's hidden. Hunter's Lane. Let's look at this at the ground level. Hey, Sandy. It's Hunter's Lane. Says no trespassing, but I mean, who would want to? I mean, it kind of looks abandoned. It kind of looks like it's abandoned. Yeah, nobody would want to go there. It's like, you know, giving me Jason Voorhees vibes. No. But it is, that's his Uranus. Okay. All right, we can't go over this area right through here where the DA is all about Michael Proudfoot here. And Eric's Pluto. Eric's Pluto is also in Scorpio. So he has Mars as a chart ruler and Pluto. Huh. The car. The car. The car. And leadership. Him taking leadership. He wants to be the leader. He wants to be the leader. Well, be the leader, dude. We're waiting. Time is ticking. I mean, time has been ticking. Come on. Be the leader that you're supposed to be. Come on. Let's see it. Let's make it happen. These are the desires that Seth wants to know what happened to his kid. These are the desires right here. All right. So let's take them off. Let's take them off and let's see who else we got right here. Here's the TBI. Here's the TBI. TBI receives information here that brings them wisdom when Sebastian went missing. So the TBI's wisdom is right here. Right here. With Eric Craddock. Eric Craddock and the TBI have wisdom. State of Tennessee is over here. This is the things that have taken place in the past. With the state of Tennessee, what's taken place in the past with health is found on this angle with Tennessee. I don't like that. I don't like that Tennessee is showing up over here with Katie. This is their outer will. This is the state of Tennessee's outer will. Hunter's Lane is right there. Things of the past. And I'm pretty sure Eric Craddock and Chris Proudfoot went to Hunter's Lane. That conjunction that Katie has is going over Hunter's Lane too. Hunter's Lane is a high school. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So his desires with Cupid and Scorpio challenges his Leo moon. Leo is kids. Leo is school. So he is being challenged with that relationship that he went to school with. right? Exactly. I mean, it's right here. There's the U.S. Marshals. I'm glad I saw that. The U.S. Marshals 11th house. It's about their peers, how they bring in money, other people's money, things that are hidden with investigations, and it's going right here over Hunter's line. You know, weird stuff going on with Craddock. And he is not doing his job like he should be. The U.S. Marshals could bring it home because it's conjunct their north node. It's conjunct their north node of fate. They're fated. And here's that conjunction right here. There's the conjunction. And there is Chris's Hygeia. Here again. Now we're going back over this way. Seth, he receives intensity here. And then there's the state of Tennessee again, where they receive leads here. What is this? Let's see what this is. That was the high school. This should be the middle school. I think, let me get back. Let me get down closer. Oh shit, this is Davidson Academy. Uh-oh. Rose. Land, other people's money, hidden sex, 12th and 6th house of health, but this is about things of the past. Let's see, hold on. That's Davidson Academy. So that's a private school. Let me go ahead and put something there. That way I know that that's Davidson Academy. Academy. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we know. Duh. So we got Davidson Academy. Interesting. Let's go on over here. What we got over here? Off of Brick Church Pike. So we've got the U.S. Marshals. We got Steve Fisher. This is where he meets his north node of fate with justice. And this is where the TBI descends with relationships. And it's conjunct Uranus. They get a little shaky shake. They get a little shaky shake about money. Could be about money. And this is where Sebastian rises. This is where he rises to the occasion right here. What's hidden? And we do have to look forward to a lot that is coming over Sebastian on this angle where he rises. The dark moon is going to be coming over here, actually. Seth has an intense experience. This is a conjunction with Seth, that there's an intense experience with the 5th house of kids. Huh. Could be about the education right here. Where's the money, though? Where's the money? Where would the money be? So I don't see anybody going over Davidson Academy. The natal isn't, I mean, he's over here. He's rising over here. But I do see an address, and I want to click on it so bad, but Let's see if I can figure out which one it is. It's Old Hickory Boulevard. I don't want to dox nobody. And it does look like a house. And it's off Old Hickory Boulevard. Would it really be a house? That's a house. I'm trying to think who would live there. Huh. Katie's Pluto. U.S. Marshals. U.S. Marshals. They're going to learn a little something about you, Katie. That's a church, I think. Let's look at that. That's on Marydale Drive. Hey, Kelly, Sandy. Hey, y'all. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not ignoring the chat. I promise. I'm trying to get in where I fit in over here. Let's see. What church is this? Looks like a church, maybe. Or something. Marydale. Let's see what place this is. Don't tell me that's a Church of Christ. And it is. A Church of Christ at Eastside. Church of Christ. Let's go ahead and put a marker there so I can remember that it's a Church of Christ, Eastside. Well, let's try that again. Okay. Jeff, I know you're starving. I know you're starving. I was thinking about doing some okay. So we can say what kind of trips me out about that is I was looking at a Church of Christ and an affiliation with the Church of Christ with some of the friends, some of the associates of the family, and their connections with churches and schools and things like that. So I want to go back to this Davidson Academy. So we got the Hunter's Lane is right here. This is where the Pluto is. Let's go into that church as well. Come on. I want to get back to Davidson Academy for just a second. Make sure that I'm looking at everybody. Sure there's no offenders there. There's the parents. Okay. So I don't see anything that's like striking right here. But that does, except says Fifth House of Kids having an intense experience right here. All right, let's keep on going for a minute. Let's turn off these addresses because I want to go back over this way with Mr. Proudfoot because there is something here. I want to keep riding that one. I just want to ride it because that angle is suspect. Where's the law enforcement? Let's turn them off. Let's turn Craddock off because we know he's right there. So I'm going to go a little closer in. So we know that this line is going over the park. It's going over, it's going just west of Hunter's Lane. And I think I've still got the addresses on. Let me make sure I do. No, I don't. All right, so we're just going to ride this because I want you to see the addresses. This is how we're going to work this. Looks like, let me go back. There's Rivergate. Okay, so this is Rivergate. There's BJ's. There's BJ's. Okay, so now we may be cooking with some gas here. So we know that the DA and Michael Proudfoot are riding this line. And we know that he's a truck driver, okay? We know that he likes to drive. That's his Venus in Aries that's going up north. But this is his Neptune in Scorpio. The DA's Neptune in Scorpio. So we want to see this. There's BJ's. And I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this angle into the other one that leaves from Texas Roadhouse. Let me show you where Texas Roadhouse is. I don't want to dox anybody right now. Just so you can wrap your head around where I'm at. No. There it is. Okay, let me take this out. Let's see. Move to folder. Now you'll be able to see it. Ah, well, look at that. Michael Proudfoot shines right there. He's showing up and showing out. These lines are the DA, and there's Michael. So Michael's right there by Texas Roadhouse. And then the DA is over here. And right there here. Okay, so there's Texas Roadhouse. Shit. Oh, Michael's sun is in Pisces. I'm sorry. This is where he gets a little shaky shake about Sebastian. With groups. He shines in Pisces. So this is his Pluto in Virgo. The DA also has their Pluto in Virgo. So that, yeah, they must have been born around the same time. Mercury conjunct Mars with Moon and Pluto. Okay, so this is important. Because if we're looking for Michael Proudfoot and if he went for a little ride, his Mercury, excuse me, his Mercury conjunct Mars opposes Moon and Pluto. Okay, so the Moon, Michael's Moon is going this way. His Pluto is going this way. Lots of reflection with transformation with groups. Makes sense. Now look at this. That dark moon, the dark moon that I was showing you earlier. All of those lines that I was looking at with that offender is going right here. It's going right here. So if she were to have left the Texas Roadhouse and went this way and then come up that way, if she would have taken a left and then went up this road right here, this is where all the disordered aggression, the darkness is coming to. So that offender, his house, all of those same lines are coming this way, right here. His Moon and Pluto. So that intensity that with health, anything having to do with, and when Sebastian went missing that night, in the middle of the night, Michael Proudfoot was being opposed big time. Big time. So that's the reason why I talk about him a lot. So this is the disordered aggression is going over here. Okay, let's turn on these addresses because I know why. Let me turn off the offend. Hold on. The offenders are off. So we got an address here. This is where we had the is right here. Forced retreat. But what is interesting is there's an associate here. That's crazy. And their medical practice. There's an associate here with their medical practice. Lots of disordered aggression with this vigil here for some reason. Interesting. Turn off the addresses again. Let's get back to the Scorpio. So we're going, so if she would have went this way, maybe, you know, if Michael Prophet had anything to do with it, then he was going this way. He was going down 65. Down 65. Because see how 65 goes? So we're going 65. Let's just follow 65 for a second and see where we go with this line. $65. Then we go to 40. There's the Nations. We're at West Nashville. There's Charlotte Park. There's 40. Here's Bellevue. Go 140 into Fairview. Damn, let me turn these addresses back on. Shit. So I want to see how many addresses we're going to. Shit. Let's keep on it going. And by the way, that wasn't his address. So we could do 100, 840. No. Let's look at 40. There's Snort. Let's see what major interstate we're going to come back up on. There's Hohenwald. Oh. I know the old address. Hold on. Michael. I just wonder if their address this is. He would know exactly what address that is. Okay. Let me turn them off. Hold on. So there's 40. There's 840. We would be on, if he were going this direction, this is where we're going with it. Sorry, it's got to catch back up. It's too much data. Boonville. We're in Mississippi here. Okay, so there's 55. That's Highway 55. So he would have joined back up. He would have joined up with 55. Right there. Okay. All right, so let me turn the... No, I can't. Hold on. Let's look at this. He could have went that way and then come down 55. He could have went from 65 to 40 to 55. And then here's the missing. There's that Poseidon again. There's the Poseidon again. That is the wisdom here. There was just a lot of energy with this. So there's Interstate 55. So we've got an address there, address there. There's New Albany. New Albany. Now we go to Louisiana. There's Texas. I'm pretty sure that this is the area where Tim with EcuSearch lives. This is the EcuSearch. And Tim with EcuSearch, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that he was a part of the search and rescue team that was in the water when Sebastian went missing. I know that they consulted with him a lot, but I can't say for sure. And then of course this goes into, these lines are going to go into Corpus Christi. Into Mexico. I'll show you this angle with the DA and Michael. So what's happening is it's going let me show you this angle that they share. And as the DA, this is where his Venus, his values, his money, his relationships are not in a good standing with the DA. Not that he's guilty of anything. It's just that that's the way it looks. I mean, and that's what we got to go by. With this angle, they're sharing the Neptune and Scorpio, but this angle is in a good standing for both of them. But sometimes being in a good standing doesn't mean that it's good for that individual. You know, people go missing on a good standing angle. I mean, if they hadn't been found, it's because it's in a good. the challenges. We look at the challenges and go, wow, they could be found on this challenging line. And that's true. But I want us to do the same thing. So we're going to look at this angle. I'm going to have to get off here and cook. I got to eat. I'm starving. I'm going to go over this angle real quick. It would be right here. This is the angle from the house, of course, from the house. The Neptune is going this way over Honeysuckle, and it's going up this way on Devon Court. Goes over Ward Lane, and then it just keeps on going. I'm going to turn on the addresses now. Excuse me. This is Latimer Lane, Sandy Valley. I'm just going to keep on going. This is New Hope Road, New Hope and Caps Gap. And again, I've got all the, the addresses on. Not the offenders. Let me go ahead and turn on the offenders too. Where'd they go? Right here. Let's turn them on. Okay, so we don't have any right here. The addresses that I have on here are, some of them are schools, some of them are associates or friends. Going over Walnut Grove. Going up 65 now. We were going down 60. Now we're in Kentucky. Now we are in Kentucky. And you can see up here in Indiana, I've got a bunch of little places. Indianapolis, Anderson, Indiana. This is where Mr. Bowersox worked. Or works, or used to work, or something like that. And then we're coming into Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo, Michigan. There's Lansing, Michigan. But Battle Creek, I had put some addresses here for Battle Creek simply because I was looking at a Church of Christ affiliation, and then I started looking at the homeless camps up here. That's Battle Creek. And then there's Lake Odessa. I think that this is interesting because this is where Devlin Tate is missing from. Devlin Tate is missing from Lake Odessa. And he was raised, I think, in around, let's see, Vermontville, Hastings, but he went missing from Lake Odessa. And I thought that that was very interesting that this is going up to Lake Odessa. The Devlin has a degree in his chart, and his Venus in Aries. His Venus in Aries in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships is the same exact degree as the degree that Sebastian rises with. He rises at a 2656. Devlin's Venus in Aries is a 2656, so it's pretty interesting. You know, sometimes when you're working several maps, you're like, where is this going? You know, what does this look like? And this is West Tupper Creek. For anybody that's been looking at that case too. Here's Tupper Creek. I don't want to dox, but if I could, I would. Oh, I thought I did. Yeah, I do. And Chris, if he would be watching this, then he knows that this is pretty close. He knows these addresses. I feel confident if he would watch this, he would know. He would know what these addresses are up here. But very interesting that they are sharing this angle. So we go into Kentucky, into Indiana, straight up into Michigan. Battle Creek, Michigan, just east of Grand Rapids, west of Lansing, and then straight over Lake Odessa. So I hope you guys found this interesting. The TBI is, like I said, they're going to be in transit for the next 24 hours. Next 24 hours, they are going to be in transit with the same degree in their chart, same sign, Scorpio. And they're gaining enlightenment. So if you follow the TBI on, say, like Facebook, post something about offenders or some type of investigative post. And as they've been in transit, I'm just trying to observe, just be an observer, be a watcher. And, that's what we do on this channel. We watch, we observe. We try not to, fix, manage, control the narrative. Just let it be what it is. Let the map tell us what's going on that day. We can look at things that are going on today and we can go, okay, let's look at this. But I wanted her to quickly tell you guys, like, this is wild to me that they are sharing the same angle. The DA and Michael Proudfoot are sharing the same angle. Not necessarily that he would be guilty of anything. I mean, he is a truck driver. Doesn't mean that he would be guilty of anything. It's just that there is reason to keep this in mind. They could, just both be born on this, around the same time. I haven't looked at that to see if they were born on the same day or something, but it's wild to me that this Venus in Aries is everybody else is warring here, but Michael's not. Everybody else is, but he's not. This is where all of his values are. So I don't know. I found it strange. Think it's strange. But I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for hanging out here with me. I do appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I know, Jeff is starving over here just like I am. So I'm going to get off here and make something to eat. Y'all have a good night. And I'm going to end this stream with Sebastian's anthem.
Clean like your soul won't be forgotten. We stand strong for you. Never give up. Seek justice and truth. Day and night we search. Community gathers. Wipe the tears away. Rise up for you. Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army. We march on. Each day comes and goes. Hope in our hearts. You're never alone. We'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, babe. It lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, hey, it lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong.